shopping. That's it.
Attendance despite hype. Paul Mayweather fight was choreographed. Rumor is Mayweather facing 400 mail orders, financial troubles.
There's probably a point when they're like, hey, it's time to pay your taxes. And you go like, all right, here's a check for $25 million. That's an incredible amount of money. And then they go, that's true.
Following the startling $42 million swindle that Stephen A. Smith uncovered, Floyd Mayweather's daughter bursts into tears. Floyd, who is renowned for creating riches that last for centuries, maintains that he produced this luck for his kids because he thinks they should carry on his tradition by earning the same amount of money and ensuring future financial security for future generations.
Building generational wealth. Even like when my children, love my children. All four of my children are adults. And I told them, listen, no more handouts. No more handouts. It can't be, because I feel like I'm hurting my children just by, I give them money, they go shopping, they put gas in their car, they party, they come back, I need money. I give them money, I buy them houses, I buy them cars. Told them, listen, from here on out, if you guys go to school or you work in one of my businesses, then you can branch off, get your own business, and I'll put the money up to help you start a business, but I need you guys to take what I've already started and triple and double that, and then I need my grandchildren to come behind you guys and do the same thing.
Mayweather frequently highlights that money made from boxing is ephemeral unless it is invested prudently. He contends that commercial endeavors, not merely money made in the ring, provide true financial stability. His personal bankruptcy serves as a warning that even enormous wealth might eventually vanish in the absence of wise investments.
When you're rich for a short period of time. Riches is short term. Wealth is long term. If you can have 100 million, but if you don't got no game plan, it's gonna be gone. If I didn't know what I know now, and they gave me 100 million when I was young, I probably would have fucked it off. But with a lot of time, a lot of experience, being around the right people, I know about balance.
Floyd Mayweather has always taken great satisfaction in being independent, negotiating his own contracts, and having no one to answer to. Floyd's independence helped him succeed as a boxer, but it hasn't worked out as well in business and money. While it's wise to rely on specialists and advice, Floyd's predilection for managing things alone has resulted in hazardous investments and bad financial choices that have eventually hurt his wealth.
Who negotiates those deals? Me. Well, you gotta. I'm a little different from every other athlete and entertainer because I keep 100% of the revenue. That's never been done before. I'm my own boss.
There's no manager. There's no agent.
No.
There's no pimp for Floyd.
No.
Wow.
I have a team, and I guess I'm lucky.
So you're negotiating that transaction yourself.
Well, exactly. This is how it works. They know my number because I've already...
Floyd Mayweather has gone down a hazardous path because of his quest for autonomy and financial power. Although boxing helped him make a fortune, he also used dubious means to keep it. Floyd has participated in frauds, associating with dubious people just to make money.
Starts in 2018 when Floyd Mayweather was banned for 3 years from promoting securities after scamming his fans with an ICO called Cintratec. He was promoting tons of these ICO scams at the time, and he also narrowly avoided an ICO fraud lawsuit for the same thing under the defense that he wasn't actually influential enough to convince people to buy the scam. And now that it's 2022, his 3-year securities ban is over and he's back to scamming again. He's currently being sued once again for his promotion of Ethereum Max alongside Kim Kardashian, and also has gotten really into NFTs.
And if you in the NFT world and you betting on me, you will never lose. But what I need you to do right now...
He exploited his power to promote projects and goods that were far from genuine by encouraging frauds and misleading the underprivileged. His emphasis on short-term gains rather than long-term prosperity via wise investments led to dubious alliances and reckless choices, which eventually jeopardized his financial security.
That's my new NFT. I've been working on that for months. If I win, you win.
Now, it's pretty obvious from these comments that Floyd has learned nothing after not reading the SEC settlement. So maybe that's why he tells us we can't lose by betting on it. So let's put that to the test with his last 3 NFT projects.
I'm dropping my NFT tonight. FloydNFT.com, August 10th. Go get it right now. Matter of fact, don't even wait till August 10th. Get it now. My NFT. Own a piece of my legacy. Floyd Money Mayweather. I'm not just in 30% or 40%, full 100%. I'm behind you. I'm all the way in.
Now, Floyd's world was indeed a huge success.
Although Floyd Mayweather has always been recognized for leading an extravagant lifestyle, there is a pattern in his financial conduct that cannot be overlooked behind the bling and glory. His tendency to purchase expensive goods, yet frequently postpone or, in some situations, completely avoid paying for them, is one of the most noticeable features of his financial habits. Vendors and contacts, particularly in Dubai, have said that Mayweather's persistent non-payment of invoices has strained his commercial connections. He has struggled to keep the trust of his co-workers as a result of these instances. It is risky to live on borrowed time and credit, depending more on appearance than on content.
Tank's come out with a bit of a mad statement, and he said that Floyd Mayweather has been held captive in Dubai because he owes people money and he can't pay them, or won't pay them, one or the other. Before I carry on, please hit that follow button if you haven't already. We're on a mission to get to 10k. Now for me, the idea that one of the richest men in the world cannot pay somebody in Dubai is a bit mad. However, Tank Davis has come out and said ask Floyd to go live right now, and he can't. Which is a fair point, and knowing how Mayweather's ego is, if it was possible for him to go live, he would be responding to this straight off the bat. Now that being said, it wasn't that long ago since we saw that video call between him and Bill Haney on the internet. So whether this is true or not, I do not know. It could just be Tank throwing shots at Floyd Mayweather, because I know that relationship has been a little bit ropey in the last few years. But you never know, especially with somebody like Mayweather, who sometimes comes across with a bit of a god complex. Maybe he's just tried screwing the wrong people.
Mayweather's practice of ignoring taxes on a podcast is another troubling element of his financial conduct. Joe Rogan noted that one of the main reasons the IRS has been closely monitoring Mayweather may be his inability to pay federal debts, including taxes. Rogan's remarks highlight how Floyd's opulent lifestyle, which includes pricey automobiles, fine clothing, and luxury holidays, does not impress the tax authorities. No amount of money can make someone exempt from paying taxes, which are a legal requirement.
That money to the IRS, how much does he owe?
It's in the $20+ million range.
It's a lot of money, man.
But it's not something that he's been, it's not like deception.
No.
It's just neglect to pay.
Neglect. And it's also like, I think, and there is like a truth to this, he makes so much money, there's probably a point when they're like, hey, it's time to pay your taxes. And you go like, all right, here's a check for $25 million. That's an incredible amount of money. And then they go, that's true, but you owe 50 more. And he's just like, that can't be right. I've given you $25 million.
Yeah, he's bought over 100 luxury cars from the same dealer and always pays in cash.
He has $15 million worth of cars.
Congrats. You can sell them.
Hearn, a boxing promoter, has shared his honest opinions about Mayweather's present professional path. For someone who had accumulated such riches and success in the ring, Floyd's ongoing involvement in exhibition fights and his increasingly wild ventures, according to Hearn, indicate a desperate need for money. Hearn wonders why Floyd continues to pursue other goals.
How about Mayweather?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think that Mayweather was unquestionably one of the best ever. But I don't know. I mean, it's difficult to say he's not a true fighter because he fought everybody he could of his era. But he was a different kind of skill set, you know. He was very much hit and don't get hit, which is the art of boxing. I think sometimes when these guys carry on and they do the exhibitions and all that kind of stuff, it just sort of diminishes the legacy a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
And that's what I feel like's happened with Mayweather.
Why do you think he does those things, though? Do you think
for money?
But do you
I don't think he's got the money he says. That's what I think.
You think he still needs the money?
I don't
after
think
all
he
these
needs
years?
the money. But you know when you got that lifestyle, right? So when you're spending what he's
It's a
spending.
lot of
Stephen A. Smith asked Floyd a powerful question in an illuminating interview. What is more important, your legacy or your wealth? It was obvious that the inquiry was meant to get Floyd to think about his true motivations. Floyd's reaction, however, was more about his financial accomplishments than his legacy. He talked about how successful he was at business and how much money he had brought in for Floyd. Money and financial gain appear to be considerably more significant than the legacy he is attempting to create.
You made money. You're gonna make a hell of a lot more money.
But the main thing is, I made smart investments, and I still make millions every month.
Do you care about your boxing legacy?
More than what?
Well, we ain't gonna say more than money. We know better. We're not gonna say more than money. We know better.
More than my family? No. So what's more important? My children. Because when I make this money, you know what? I put my children and my family in a position that they are entrepreneurs. They are bosses. I don't want my kids to have to answer to nobody. So I will take the long road. I will take the bumps and the bruises for them, but for my loved ones.
But fear, it's important to point this out about you.
There's reports online that Floyd's a billionaire. There's reports that he was the highest paid athlete in this year and this year. First off, he's never gotten $100 million for a fight. Not even remotely close.
You think it's bull?
I know it is, because I know the fight business. I've been in the fight business my whole life. I'm a promoter right now. He's probably made about $60 million before in one night, which is crazy numbers. Mike Tyson, to put in perspective, when he fought Michael Spinks, that was the biggest fight of all time. When that fight happened, one got 30 million and one got 29.
250 million against Manny Pacquiao.
Yeah. No fighter in history of the world. $250 million to go and box. I know that Floyd is still getting in there as recently as this weekend because he needed the money.
I think Floyd's fighting because he needs the money?
Yeah.
Really? Why? You think he blew through all of his money?